Hello guys, in this new video we're going to see a cemetery farming strategy in a budget. In a budget, you may be asking me, yeah, well, I consider a budget here in this farming strategy because none of us have infinite currency, and at the same time we have to start somewhere, right? We started the league a couple days ago, so we might have at this point a couple tens of divines, and maybe less if you have started before that. So I will define the concept of budget as an reasonable amount that you can get by doing a start strategy by a couple hours using a build that is not finished yet. So for example, I recently uploaded a video about the blading mechanics as a start strategy, and that you could get around 2.8, almost 3 divines per hour. So we're managing this kind of parameters here. So farming a couple hours that strategy, you can get the enough budget for this kind of new strategy that I would say that are the next level. What's this strategy about? Well, it's kind of simple to answer this question. We are just farming a single map and we are adding all of the mechanics that we consider that are the best for this kind of farming. And the map is going to be no more less than the cemetery map. And that is because in this league it was introduced a new divination card that's similar to the Brother's Stash, but in this time is the Brother's Gift, and with a single card we get 5 divination or 5 divine orbs, as you can see in the screen, and that's pretty huge actually. I think that this is the second best that we can farm currently. That is not really rare, and at the same time it does provide some nice value. So in this time we're going to be using the Abyss mechanic because it spawns a lot of monsters, and a lot of these monsters are rare too. Remember that the rare and magic monster have special modifiers that are amplifier or juice. And then we're going to be using breach because again it spawns a lot of monsters. In this case there are more magic monsters. As you can see in some of the footage in the screen, the breach mechanics floods all the screens with these kind of mobs and you have to quickly clear them. And then the harbinger mechanic, because it serves as superpose. First, it fits your inspiration learning or a headhunter if you already have one, and then it's a mechanic that adds a lot of monsters. Some of these monsters are rare, some of them are magic, and also it has some good value. You could in the best case scenario to drop a mirror shard, but in most of the cases we are going to be dropping some fragment shards. Then we're going to be using a divination scarab to potentiate the drop rate of the Brother's Gift. We also can get in this map the Brother's Stash, but yeah, we can compare 5 divines against 5 exalts. But yeah, with this divination scarab we are increasing all the chances for the divination cards. Then we are going to be using the sextant for the mirror of delirium, because the delirium not also adds a lot of monsters in your maps, but it adds a lot of coronary rarity as an extra bonus for all the mobs that are in the that are affected by the delirium fog. Meanwhile, of course, the mirror is active. And finally, we are adding the blue influence in our map since we don't want to be spending so much time looting. I did take some measurements, and with the incubators I counted that we kill with this kind of a strategy around 4,500 mobs. We are going to be in the future comparing the amount of mobs that we're killing in our maps, because aside of buffing the quantity rates, if you kill more monsters, that's like another kind of multiplier for maps. So this is the full setup for the scarabs. I use the polished harbinger, the rusted breach, the polished abyss, and the polished divination card, the scarab. I took into consideration that these scarabs weren't that much expensive, and also considering that the whole strategy needs to be in the budget that we already talked about. And then for the scarabs, I really like the sextant for the harbinger. It adds noticeably more fragment drops once we finish a harbinger encounter. Then we are aiming for extra breaches and finally an extra abyss. And we are also using the abyss craft in the map device, so that's awesome because we are investing into the abyss in the 8 of 3, and for only 2C we're getting an extra abyss. So that's pretty good. And the other options aren't that appealing for us. And finally, like I already mentioned, we are using the blue influence. These are the costs that I got, both the scarabs and the sextants. These are all bulk prices already, so as you are going to notice, these prices are a bit higher compared to POE Ninja, because you aren't going to buy, for example, 90 breach scarabs one by one from 90 different players. Instead, you want to find one player or two players that are selling a lot of breach scarabs, and yeah, you're going to pay a little bit more, but you're going to save more time and you're going to be endlessly more happy. We are going to calculate at the end of the video all the prices that I'm setting here. We are going to see all the revenue and expenses that we got, and everything will be summed up in the final section. So now let's see the address tree that I used for this strategy. So let's get into the paint. So this is the whole tree. As you can see, we are fully investing into harbinger because we are adding harbinger into our maps. We have all the top hat right here. That's perfectly fine for the magic find and getting more stuff out of our maps. All the quant wheel too, and the minor wheel too. And then I am here, I'm blocking the mechanics I don't want to spawn to increase the chance for the boxes, the shrines, and extra abysses that can naturally spawn in your maps, and that kind of stuff. And then for the breaches, I'm trying to get as much density in each of the breaches as much as you can. As you can see, we're investing here, and here I actually tried with the slower breaches, but I didn't like. I feel that once you clear most of the mobs, the density, you aren't spawning more mobs because the thing is slower. So I ended up switching back to the flash breach. So I want the hand to open as fast as we can and try to clean as much as we can, and just move on with the next hand or abyss, and continue doing my map and not interrupting so much by the slower option here that you have. Then for the abyss, I'm getting these here, and I don't have enough points basically to get the whole thing here, the whole tail. So I'm including here, and yeah, this is already enough to spawn a lot of monsters for each one of these abysses pits that we're going to be doing in our maps. Then, like we already mentioned, the blue influence with the altars that are pretty good. I think this was nerfed this league. In the past we had 30%, maybe I'm wrong, but now it's 20%. So yeah, it's still pretty good. I would say it's better than the red influence if you want to be picking so much loot from the bubblegum currency that the red drops. And finally, the Cyan's combo. I really like this combination. It adds a lot of extra quantity in the mobs that are possessed or that are touched, and I really value this quantity. It's hard to measure, I get that, but each time that I kill a possessed group of monsters, they always drop stuff, and I'm just a fan of this combination, and I always add it. And yeah, that's basically it for the maps. I of course running the shadow shaping, and I have here some map drops because I didn't know if we are going to be able to self-sustain, and now that I already did on the whole test run, I can assure you that we are already self-sustaining by a lot, because again, we're killing so much stuff in these maps, and the quantity and the rarity is so high that the map sustain is really easy. So if you don't have, I don't know how many points I have here, but I must have around 124 most likely. So if you don't have this amount of points, you can take out these map points and, for example, add it here in the breach, or add in anything else that you like. Also, I didn't mention the delirium here have for extra rewards. This is kind of a bonus, and yeah, that's for the Aegis tree. Now we're going to pass on the final section, that is the the test run and the results that we got from running this strategy. So this is all the stuff that I got from 40 maps from running the test run. And as you can see, the total value of all of this loot is 19 divines. And I want to start saying that I weren't lucky enough to drop a brother's gift. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this can be much higher, especially because the amount of union that we got was 83, and I'm pretty sure that I didn't pick them all, so this could be around 100 if you're fair. And the number of union cards by brother stash are one each, around 90. So in average, you are expected to get one brother stash at least with this amount of unions. I think that we did get unlucky here by not getting a brother's gift. However, I did got a brother stash, but yeah, this is much lower value than where would the brother stash be. But yeah, then the other stuff is all valuable stuff. I'm already using a new very strict filter, so all the stuff here has to be easily liquidable. For example, we have the delirium ores. They already pay for mirror sextant, this 1.5 divines. Then we got more stuff. Let's get to the last page. For example, we are going to get a lot of the essences and then a lot of the scarabs. And then the random stuff you see here, for example, one fossil, this is coming from the delirium rewards. Then a lot of these cards that has a low value, but if they are mentioned in the filter is for a reason and they must be at least turnable in Lily. One thing I forgot to mention is that I did find a cluster that is kind of expensive, and I sold it for 4 divines. And then I dropped one of these jewels that is expensive, I sold for 5 divines. This is one of the jewels that you do the new shenanigans with the Bane stun, but you recover stun really fast and you recover all your damage, so you get extra tanky. I won't be adding this cell because I think this is too random. I don't know if this is fair enough, because we are killing a lot of stuff, so we are eventually going to get good uniques. But in this case, in the magic find build that I'm running, I'm not focusing in rarity, so I will be taking this out of the equation. I will be adding the cluster because we are farming delirium, but this one I will exclude it from the end results. So this is the total cost of the test run. Like I said, I did run 40 maps, and these are all of the cost of the stuff there we are choosing. This is the scarabs, and these are the sextants, and this is the cost per map. So in total we did invest almost 6 divines, so this is the budget that I mentioned in the start of the video. And then we saw that in the excellence we got a revenue of 19.12 divines, and I'm adding that the 4 divines clusters, and yeah, the end result for the revenue is 23.12 divines. And that means that we had a total of 17.22 divines profit in the 40 maps that we run in around 3.5 hours, a bit less than 3.5 hours. I have an image for these two that we will be posting in the video somewhere in the screen about the stats that I get from the map watch. And yeah, that means that in this time, if we made this kind of profit, we are making almost 4 divines per hour without considering the brother's gift. I already said that the amount of union that we got in these 40 maps is the equivalent of the amount that we should be expecting one brother's gift in average. So this is, we got 5 divines per hour without the brother's gift. And if I add the brother's gift in these 40 maps, one of them, we will be getting 4.5, almost 4.5 divines per hour using this strategy. So yeah, as you can see, the profits it's pretty good, and we are blasting maps basically with a 5 minutes per map. And that's it for everything in this test run and for this strategy, and hope you liked. And I encourage you to try this strategy and tell me your results too. And yeah, see you guys.